Deep concentration there from you.
Welcome back to the Inner Circle Sports Podcast. We are the number one sports adjacent podcast in the Inner Circle. We are coming at you live on Facebook and YouTube tonight. You can catch us there live. Come talk with us in the comments. You can also find us at Inner Circle PN. I am your host, Riley from The Plunge. You can find me at Damn You Spyro. And I'm joined with young Christian himself, Chris Wutsky of the Hashtag No Offense Show. Chris, what is up? Welcome back.
How goes it? How was your off season?
My off season was boring. I miss sports.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you cut it. You had some projects. We had some things going to pass the time during COVID sports. We had a March Madness cartoon that I never saw the champion of. That just kind of went away.
To be fair, we're two polls away from being crowning like a champion, essentially.
It's
so
I
could finish.
It's fucking.
Listen, have we seen sports? No, so we'll still finish.
We tried to have a classic NBA tournament, and we played 2 rounds. And
my internet pooped itself.
Look, man, those pixelated players gave their all. They put it all out there, and you just fucking shit the bed on them. You pulled it. You pulled it worse than COVID, dude. You pulled the season away from them.
I pulled the season away from everyone. I teased the season. I'm doing what the NFL is going to do. I teased you guys a season, and then when it actually happens, I'm just going to fucking pull it away from you before you have the chance to enjoy it.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You think the NFL is happening?
Yeah, absolutely.
I put it this way. The NFL has such an incredibly large amount of personnel that there's just no chance. The entire NBA, like if you take every player from the NBA and all coaching staff and all personnel, if you take all 30 teams people, that's like 2 NFL teams.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, like your roster.
Not to mention a practice squad too.
Yeah,
like in reserves that you're not thinking of. Like when you go on with a basketball team, it's 13 guys max.
Hey, Tuba, introduce Tuba. You didn't even say shit about Tuba. He just starts talking. You didn't even fucking say
the legend himself is also joining us tonight from the Ice Den in the brass section. Tuba himself.
Thank God for pro wrestling. Otherwise, I would have been bored.
Yeah, your life hasn't changed because you've remained working and wrestling has still been on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely do miss certain weekdays where there's nothing on except for basketball or like a live sporting event, obviously. But other than that, I mean, yeah, life hasn't gone too off course.
I've gotten pretty into Korean baseball.
It's electric.
It is electric.
They get into it.
Yeah, they're like, and it's on at like 7 a.m, so I can just throw it on, and I have a little bit of fix in my life.
So in Korea, they didn't stop their national sports, huh?
No, they handled COVID right, so they're actually
to do COVID.
Yeah, so they're actually back as a civilization.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, we'll be back after the election when it goes away and everybody forgets about it, and it's miraculously cured, Riley.
Probably.
Wow.
Okay, Creature Chris. But yeah, so we're back. As you remember, if you do, we are your favorite sports adjacent podcast that will probably talk about sports tonight. Crazy enough. However, before we get too parallel to sports, I do have something a little adjacent.
Okay.
Jason Almy?
No.
Adjacent Almy. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Adjacent Almy.
Back on YouTube. Got me, brother.
So, if you haven't heard, Deshaun Jackson has been in the news lately.
Oh man, these comments.
And let me tell you, he has received a new all-time low from the Inner Circle Sports on JewOrNotJew.com. Deshaun Jackson is a certified 0.0 on our own Jew or not Jew scale. Tuba, would you like to explain what's going on with Deshaun Jackson? Chris, have you heard about this?
It's funny because
No.
Steven Jackson, former NBA player Steven Jackson, doubled down on this shit, and it's
Yeah.
absurd. Because
The whole world is like, no, Deshaun Jackson, that's not cool.
So
the Eagles were like, this is an abomination. Deshaun and Steven Jackson's like, yo, hold up. He's got a point.
No, well, I mean, his point. Steven Jackson does rebuttal by saying, "Well, what about Riley Cooper? You guys extended his contract after he said what he said," which is fair. I mean, you can't argue that because they actually did it after video footage came out.
Yeah, but like Riley
saying
Cooper
that.
said the N word when Ralphie May was alive. This is different. This is Deshaun Jackson talking about Hitler.
But it's sort of like, yeah, the comments he made were just outlandish and extremely offensive.
Yeah,
Like,
go on. Explain what those were
he
for Chris.
essentially compared the way that I don't want to get it wrong. I really don't. I know that Ariel, the guy who covers MMA, Ariel Elwani, who's Jewish, responded to it and said like it was just wicked offensive.
Didn't he say something along the lines like, you know what? Hitler's all right.
Deshaun Jackson did?
Yeah, it was something that was wildly offensive to all Jewish people.
Shut up.
Like he's
Why?
being the word anti-Semite is being thrown around heavy with Deshaun Jackson now.
Well, like
Yeah,
why? Like what was the
No, we don't care about Steven Jackson. I need to hear.
He brought even more scandal to it. That's why, like, I'm trying to figure out the actual quote, but I can't. I'll Google it for a second and see if I can get.
Yeah, Deshaun Jackson, super in the hot seat. As a podcast so familiar with JewOrNotJew.com, we stand with all of our Jews out there because we need to find out your ranking too. And if people like Deshaun Jackson are out there holding down your Jew, we'll never find out your true Jew rank. So
Lyle Elzado is rolling in his grave right now.
Lyle Zotto is
Is he dead?
fucking
Is he dead?
rolling. You read it.
Okay, so he essentially compared biblical, like he posted a photo saying, like a quote from Hitler saying, because white Jews know that the blank, it's an N word. It's not the regular N word. It's another word. I'm not going to say it either way.
Can I see?
It's another word for a color. I'm not going to say. It's a Spanish word for.
It's the Spanish word for black.
Yeah,
you
Spanish
put
word
L-
for black.
If
I'm
you
just
put
not
L
going
in
to.
front of it, you'll be all right.
El Negro.
There you go.
Vinny Del Negro. Vinny
you
Del, this
Great.
word.
There you go. See, you're thinking.
Yeah, he
man.
says they are the real children of Israel, and to keep America's secret, the Jews will blackmail America. They will extort, yada yada yada. For
Is he
world
pulling the
domination.
classic? Is he pulling the classic? Jesus is actually black card.
No, he.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
He's saying that world domination like won't work if, again, that word knows who they are. And it says the white citizens of America will be terrified to know that all this time they've been mistreating and discriminating and lynching the children of Israel.
Yo, what a
So
wild
he-
move that Deshaun Jackson somehow got. It's pretty hard to be labeled white racist right now in
Well,
this
it's
times.
anti-Semitic.
Yeah, it's like it's pretty hard to be like a black racist, like being racist towards white people
It's
right
just
now. You have a
crazy.
pretty good pass at the moment, and he managed to fuck it up.
What I don't understand is like why? Like what?
Yeah,
what
where did he
where
did
did
he have like would he have a Kyrie Irving like the world is flat, like just revelation where he was like, I gotta let people know.
see, 'cause that's how I was.
He
That's how I was
about
listening.
it.
He was
made a
talking
post
like
about it,
Benjamin
yeah.
Mosley.
Well, it looked like he quoted someone's like book though.
Well, it was quoting Hitler.
Oh,
Hitler said that quote.
Oh,
that
why
he
didn't you say
posted.
that?
I
You
said
just
he- I
you
said
just
it was
pulled
Hitler's-
you just pulled a Wayne Gretzky Michael Scott on me. I thought
No. It was Wayne. It was yeah. Whoops.
Wayne
no, it was-
Hitler,
it
noted
was
puck
Hitler's
scorer.
Quote, like I said,
The great-
Deshaun was pretty much quoted as agreeing with him, like agreeing with Adolf, and that's why like a bunch of people have came out and been. I mean, it's just stupid comments, ignorance at its best, if you're being honest. But
He's bored.
Um,
There's no mini camp. He's bored too.
That's true. I'm gonna go to JewOrNotJew.com and see if Deshaun Jackson's on there.
I promise you, he's not.
Listen, we're gonna go to athletes and coaches. Why is coaches on there? Lyle Alzado, noted 8 on the Jew scale. Never forget. J Jackson. Here we go. He's not on there.
I told you.
Jerry Judy's on there though. Oddly enough. Jerry Judy 4 on jewornotyou.com.
That's still pretty solid, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Ben Roethlisberger a 3.
Oh, that's a lie. Like Trevor Rosenthal only has a
Aaron
5.
Rodgers at 5. Come on, he hates his own family.
Yeah,
That
I mean
was one of
that's.
those things that we missed, dude. The quarterbacks turned into women.
Wait, what?
When you said Roethlisberger,
Oh, fuck!
Remember?
Yeah,
you said Roethlisberger, and we were like, he looked like fucking Amy Schumer.
yeah. So too, but there was this thing like a month back that Chris sent me, and they pretty much turned all the quarterbacks in the NFL into women.
Oh yeah, I
And
saw
like
that
Pat
coming.
Mahomes was looking like a yummy Latina babe. Like
Tom Brady could get it.
Tom Brady could get it. I remember Deshaun Watson was fucking a caramel macchiato, like just
All right.
a smoke show. Who else was? I think Mariota was dumb hot. Like
Yeah, Mariota. Yeah, fucking Mitch, dude. Mitch was all right, I think.
Mitch was your classic sorority white girl. Like she fucks frat dudes.
Balls deep in White Claws.
Titty sucking Mitch, more like dick sucking Mitch. That's what she was. Dick sucking Midge.
That's extra funny because I'm almost done watching this that 70s show again.
Do you feel different watching it with Danny Masterson now? Are you like watching it? You're like he raped women.
No, because you can tell now, like watching it, and like Dutch is like, she's like, no, you can't tell. I like
You can definitely tell on the ranch.
well, you can for sure tell he's the same dude. Like
Yeah.
even as a child on that 70s show, I'm like, dude, you could tell he's up to some shit, man. That guy's
Was
on
he,
the
like-
trusted list.
He was never handsome enough, so you could tell like he had to work.
He's got shifty eyes.
Yeah, Danny Masterson, Hyde from that 70s show,
Okay. Yeah.
Rooster from the ranch.
I was disappointed when it all happened just because I like the ranch, but I mean, like, can't be doing that. Can't do that.
I agree. We here at Inner Circle Sports agree.
You don't do that.
You don't do that.
You don't
Sure.
do that.
You ready for some real sports, young Christian?
What do you got? What do you got for real?
I got a whole bunch of stuff. Where do you want to dive in first? Football, fighting, basketball,
just
baseball.
push it in. Just push it in. Back it
All
up.
right. Have you heard about the bubble?
The basketball thing?
The basket bubble. Yeah.
I've heard about it here and there. My uncle actually works at Disney World, and he was like, it's like Fort Knox. You can't get anywhere near that place.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to sneak peeks or whatever, and see what's what. Nah, they got it posted up like Area 51, dude.
Is at Disney World?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, it's on
Wide
Disney
World of Sports
property.
is at Epcot.
Really?
Wide World of Sports is near a hotel near Epcot. Yeah, it's got a bunch of arenas, soccer fields, baseball fields, football fields, stuff like that. It's like a whole pavilion, and then they have them stationed at like certain Disney hotels within, I think, like a half a mile of the. Yeah,
Their practice facility looks dope. Have you seen
Yeah.
the ones where it's like 8 floors, but they have the branding of each team?
it's like AAU.
Yeah.
all over again.
Yeah, it looks cool. So pretty much they brought in the floor from like every team and they just put it in like this giant fucking like a conference center almost and brought in rims and it's just like 8 basketball courts next to each other, but it's like here's the Celtics home court next to the Raptors, next to the Pacers. Like it looks super cool.
So what you're saying is they essentially recreated the neighborhood from 2K.
It looks
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
like no, so it looks like the Rec.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, it
there's
looks
nothing-
identical to the Rec.
That's kind of awesome, dude, because
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I've thought about how cool it would be to live in the 2K neighborhood and your whole life revolved around walking around trying to find
You do dream about that, don't you?
I do. I want that
Yeah.
in my life, dude.
Yeah,
think-
I walk around with my LeVar Ball strut, smiling. Yeah, I got VC ready to buy some shoes.
But the problem that I've had in light of recent events is that my character is white and no one will play with me. It's true. It's true. And
Now it begs the question: is it acceptable for me to use a black guy because I've played as a black guy for the last 2 years?
my friend Nick, who I play with, he's usually the black guy. And if the two of us are standing on like circles waiting to get into a game, no, like people will come and stand behind us. If I get off, they'll get on. If I get on, they'll get off. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
No, what they'll do is they're now sending invites to anyone in the area so they can hop on the squad thing and cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Chris, that answers your question. Play as a big, goofy black guy instead next year. Play as Bobby Moore next year. You would have so much joy playing as Bobby Moore in 2K.
I could just do the camera thing, like hold up a picture of him and like have it like scan his face.
Yeah.
I might do that.
You should.
I might do that.
I'll play as Kaz. Like I'll be like a power forward.
Just recreate the whole circle if you want.
I like the idea that we're only taking the minorities from the circles so people will play with us in the basketball game.
Well, then my buddy was like, I want to make myself Asian, and there's no real clear-cut way to be Asian, and we had to find a YouTube video to like tell you where to put the sliders or whatever to turn your
Oh God. How nice of them. Like, you know how easy it would be to just be like, how do you get squinty eyes in 2K? But no, you have to take the politically correct approach in your YouTube video name. You can be like, how to adjust sliders to make my guy look Asian. You're like, listen.
Then there's like the copycat videos that are like, how to be the real Asian. Like we've got the real formula.
And they're in all caps for some reason.
Well, because they're kids making it like my son's age, dude.
I have always those were the first YouTube videos I ever watched were how to make funny Wii's in the Wii character thing. So like I could play Wii baseball with Beavis and Butthead on my team. Like
nice. They're coming back.
Because the Switch be happening.
No, Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, that too.
Fire, yeah. I am Cornholio.
But yeah, getting back to the basketball thing, did you see the fucking rings that they're making them wear?
No,
yeah,
they have
the tracking rings, and if you get within 6 feet of somebody, it beeps.
Really?
Yeah,
they've got like it's like fucking these. They're like black, and the insides of them are like green. They look futuristic as shit. And they're biometric.
They recognize symptoms too, like they'll recognize early signs. Did you see their foods? Prison food.
Yeah, so that's what I want to talk about. Is like this has been pulled together like a last minute Olympics where the city hasn't done like building the village yet.
Yeah, it is very Olympic Village-esque.
Yeah. And can you imagine telling this man who, like, all of these people who are multi-millionaires?
LeBron James, who has his own personal chef, that he's going to have to eat prepackaged food.
Can you tell LeBron James you have to move out of your mansion without your family, and you got to come live in this one-bedroom hotel room in Disney World for, I don't know, 3 months?
Dude, I want to live at Disney World. Why are they giving them shitty food, man? Disney World's got awesome food. Just have
give them Dole Whips. What's going on?
They have several steakhouses throughout the entire property. I don't understand why they couldn't get them like 4-star food, but no, it's all we're eating better than NBA players right now. You at home.
Do you think you're only seeing because like I haven't seen an actual star post hardships. I've seen like the Tyler Heroes of the world be like, man, they're giving us Salisbury steak and rice. Like, yeah, you're probably not getting taken care of because you don't matter that much.
LeBron's going to that restaurant.
LeBron's living in a suite.
I imagine Zion's got 2 racks of ribs at his disposal every fucking
correct.
Like potatoes. Like,
eat dinner with Chippendale and them.
Yeah, like LeBron is living in their penthouse suite with a personal chef still.
Mom, I want to go to the character dinner. Okay, Zion, you got to finish your vegetables.
Can Ja come?
Can RJ come? Zion, RJ's not here. How many times do I have to tell? Oh.
That's gotta be like a trip, dude. Like you're saying, man, how it's just kind of thrown together, and they're doing. I'm excited for it though, man. I think it's gonna be exciting.
They'll make for interesting games, competition too. Like a lot of these guys will be pent up, angsty. I imagine there'll be a lot more chippy games going on.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it needs to be chippy games because like.
Otherwise,
they're not going to be banging threes right now. Like they're a little rusty.
Yeah. Well, and then how about some guys are saying they're not even gonna play.
Yeah.
I've seen
there are quite a few.
Gordon Hayward's out. He's like, man, I got 4 kids. I can't do this. Like,
Mm.
I was like, listen, everyone in the NBA has 4 kids. You just know they exist.
I think
Like,
no, his
Oh,
wife's
hot
pregnant. His wife is far along. That's why his wife's like about to deliver. He said when he comes.
but you ruined my fire joke. All right.
I was just saying he said he'll come back, but
Gordon Hayward's always what could have been, dude.
Gordon hit
that one dunk, snapped his leg, and
that sucked.
His whole life away.
Do you know how excited we were as Celtics fans? We're like, damn, we just got, because Hayward was coming into superstar form. Like he was coming off of like all NBA all teams. Like he was coming into superstar. We have Kyrie Irving coming. And then like 3 minutes into the season, he just snaps his fucking ankle.
But now, was he that good because he was in Utah, or was he that good because he was that good?
It's a tough spot.
Because he was that good.
It's a tough spot to say because of how much talent. Boston realized very early on that these guys were the future in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. So they kind of like, it was like, yeah, listen, we got to like let these guys know they're ballers. So he was never able to shine in Boston after he came back because he had his recovery. This would have been the year. Like if he was there, he could have balled out.
I was going to say his stats really started to climb at the end of last year and the start of this year. I really do think he was starting to get his basketball legs under him. But I mean, like an injury like that, you're scared to jump, you're scared to run. Like
he's now come back where he was currently the second option, like by a lot. And now he's come back where he's 4th, and that's his peak. He's never going to be able to jump either of the other 3 guys as the option on offense, which seems like to work for him, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's okay though. You don't need to be the man. You just need to fit with that. Yeah, fit in that.
But you're never gonna make the great name for yourself like to the rest of the league as the 4th guy. Like people will know, like, yeah, he's good. It just sucks. But like, if he was balling as the second option, like people would take notice. But if you're balling as the 4th option, no one's like, oh, dude's averaging 13, 7, and 4. Like
Tony Kukoc will always have a spot in my heart, and he was the 6th option. Okay, suck my dick.
I am excited for the bubble. My favorite part is that they're like, yeah, if you're in the East, we're good. We're done. They're like, but the West, we got like 9 teams competing for this last seed. They're like, but the East, we're bringing in 8 teams. Like, but the West, we got 14 teams coming in.
Right now, the current NBA between the East and the West is like the NBA and the ABA, like back in the 70s, dude. It's like fucking Jackie Moon trying to get his team to get picked up.
I don't know. Well, the thing is, the top 3 teams in the East
for Zion
are as strong, but the rest of the East is big weak. The West, however, gonna be fun as fuck for that 8 seed because who's competing for it? It's Zion, Ja. There's 6 other teams. Who was in the hunt?
I thought there was only 4. I thought
they invited 14 teams.
10. Oh, I thought there was 10.
And 1 through 7's locked.
Wasn't the Kings?
Yep, the Kings is there. De'Aaron Fox is playing for it.
1 through 7 is already like locked
1
up.
through 7 is locked. The seeding isn't, but the teams in there are guaranteed 1 through 7.
It was bound to be a March shuffle, basically, or like a late April shuffle before they get into the playoffs.
So yeah, that's why there's 14 teams. There is 7 teams competing for the 8th seed.
No shit.
Yeah, that's why they're doing that 8 game.
They were all within 2 games.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's good that they are. Better to have all of the teams there and really get the best possible solution rather than jip a team out of it and like when they were getting hot. Because, I mean, the Pelicans, too, if they decide to catch lightning in a bottle and they get hot, I mean, that team's good enough talent-wise to where they could scare a first rounder.
So the 18. So right now, what the fuck? It just brought me back. That's
rusty too.
I just had it too.
Talking shit about them pulling up from downtown. You're fucking rusty. Can't even pull up news stories. Come on.
I just had it, and then it made me back.
Can't-
So the Western Conference teams, it keeps loading.
I will
man.
say though, while he's looking, the NBA is in good hands. A lot, and I mean a lot of talent scattered throughout the league. It's quite a plentiful fountain right now. So
a plentiful fountain.
There's
Well, I
your
mean,
episode title.
Yeah. All right. So the Western Conference teams, the Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, Jazz, Thunder, Rockets, and Mavericks
I was gonna say
are all locked in 1 through 7. And then competing for the 8 seed is the Grizzlies, the Trailblazers, the Pelicans, the Kings, the Spurs, and the Suns.
Now the Trailblazers are also a dark horse because Damian Lillard can get hot and carry you for like 50 points a game if he really wants to.
We've seen that many a times. Yeah.
Dame's my
Well,
guy, dude.
Dame's sick.
He's
so
the most
happy.
complete point guard, I think.
To be fair, all of these teams are dark horse. You have Zion, Zion and Lonzo and fucking Ingram on the Pelicans. Trailblazers are the Trailblazers. Do they still have Melo? Is he?
Yeah,
who
they have Melo, Hassan Whiteside, McCollum. Like they have a solid team.
I don't know who's on the Grizzlies. Oh, Ja
Ja
Morant's Grizzlies. The Kings are with De'Aaron Fox. They're fun as fuck to watch. The Spurs are the Spurs. You know, this will be the first time if they don't make it in like 24 years that they're not in the playoffs.
Is that since the Duncan year? Since the year they got Duncan?
They've been in the playoffs every year since then.
Wow.
And then the Suns, I don't know how the Suns made this, but
I mean, they just have enough young talent.
Yeah.
Booker, Oubre. I mean, they're
Oubre's balling this year, which
they
is
were
hilarious.
both starting to catch heat.
I love that Oubre is good now because I've been jokingly using Kelly Oubre on the Washington Wizards in 2K since 2K14. He was garbage, but I would always use it because I always picked the Wizards because I love playing as John Wall. And then he would go to the bench and I would just ball out with Kenny Oubre. And I was ungodly good.
His name. He just disregards him. That's how much he didn't mean to him.
What was it?
You said Kenny Oubre.
Kenny Oubre. And I would just ball out with him.
He owes me money. He owes me money, man. He's
the Oob man.
No flake for me too many times on DraftKings. He owes me money.
That's your problem for doing basketball draft.
Probably owes a lot of guys' girlfriends back. That dude.
Oh shit! What else you got, Rouse Trudy?
I just want to finish on the bubble. Who do you got? Who you feeling out of the East and out of the West?
I don't know.
Who do you think's taking that 8 seed?
I mean,
I think that's a good
seed. I think
off the cuff, I'd say Portland without like knowing anything.
I was saying either Portland or Sacramento because I think Sacramento's got the depth.
I think Sacramento has too much depth, but not enough talent on the other end. Like depth is nice, but if you don't have, they have Fox, but they don't really have anyone else besides
they
Fox.
They don't have superstar.
They just have a bunch of guys who are like,
who know how to do their job.
Yeah.
Like,
so that's why I don't see them. Like,
the
one team I don't think actually has a chance is probably going to be the one who takes it, and that's the Spurs. I want to go with the Grizzlies just because Ja is fucking electric. I hope Ja or Zion makes it.
Ja, Jaren Jackson Jr. They have Justice Winslow.
Oh, I know, but Ja is fucking electric.
Length. Oh yeah. Oh, it's.
I need
him and Zion are one man ticket sellers.
Yes.
It looks like they brought in 9 teams from the East, so one is going to get shut out.
Who?
Indiana.
It's Milwaukee, Toronto, Boston, Miami, Indiana, Philly, Brooklyn, Orlando, and Washington.
Maybe they brought in another team because everyone on the Nets is dropping like flies.
Yeah, I know, because I know Bradley Beal said he's not playing because he's hurt. So that would be a starless Wizards team to bring in, literally.
Or they only brought in Orlando because it's in Orlando, and that would be bad form. So they're like, all right.
Mickey Mouse himself's going to play for Magic.
It's actually, they invite the Harlem Globetrotters. I haven't been to the Harlem Globetrotters since I was, I don't know, 5.
I've never.
Why aren't they in the NBA? Like they're doing like is it fake?
Yes, it's sports entertainment. It's wrestling and basketball, dude.
No, it's not. Like they're doing like finger spin behind the back through the leg half court shots.
When he said it's sports entertainment, but you took my punchline.
Dude, that's choreographed. They're really good at doing tricks.
But how does it go into the hoop?
They're
good.
In practice. Yes, these guys are world-class basketball players that just don't want to play basketball professionally. They go and do it for the Globetrotters.
Why, if you have the talent to get a bag, why are you playing for the Globetrotters? Probably making like $135,000 a year.
Some of them are like, you'd have to look into like the backstories on a lot of them. I just know some of them just chose not to want to go. Like, and there are some that were just like not necessarily basketball talents, but like there's a really big guy. I know that.
Well, how about the guys on the Washington Generals that chose to lose every single game?
I have a shirt for the Washington Generals.
Do you really? What's it
Yeah,
say?
I got it. It says Washington Generals. Like it's just like it's like if you had a Boston Celtics shirt.
Like
It's
if you had a
just
shirt that said jabroni on it, literally.
God damn it. I was going to bet on what the over-under was that you said that shit tonight, and there you are with the fucking jabroni. Where are we at?
all right. I'm on the frequently asked questions
32.
page of the Harlem
They've lost
Globetrotters.
345 games over.
So yeah, fun fact: they've lost 345 games in their career. So
you
maybe
tell
the
me
Generals
that-
aren't as bad as we think. Can you imagine going to a Harlem Globetrotters game and they just get washed by the fucking Generals? They're just not on that night. Their trick moves
Wash
aren't
just puts
working.
Their reserve in at halftime.
Oh, okay. Someone asked, where are Marquise Haynes, Meadow Lark Lemon, Curly Neal, Goose Tatum, and Sweet Lou Dunbar? They're in the Hall of Fame, apparently.
The NBA or
Have the Globe
Basketball Hall of Fame?
lost a game?
It's
Oh, okay. All right. Never mind.
7,000 wins.
What a flex. So one of the FAQs is, have the Globetrotters ever lost a game? It says, yes, in fact, the Globetrotters lost 345 games over the course of 9 decades. However, you ready for the most jaw-dropping however in internet history? However, with 27,000 wins, the Globetrotters own the best winning percentage in the history of professional sports.
It's predetermined.
I'd just
All right,
to
wait,
say
wait, wait. The next
Undertaker of
question.
WrestleMania probably would like to have a word with that.
That's not as good of a win percentage.
Well,
He's
yeah, because
25 and 2.
you got to follow storylines there. Eventually, you're going to take a fall, right?
Well, no, so let's see. It says the next FAQ is, are the exhibition games real basketball? They go, they are real basketball games. The Harlem Globetrotters and their opponents both play to win, but the Globetrotters do mix in their signature style of show basketball that will entertain fans of all ages.
Basketball.
You have to imagine though, picking the Generals. You have to pick the shitty ones that come in. To
You think
try
you can
out,
bet? Can you gamble on the Globetrotters? Like,
I was already thinking it, dude.
like a 300 to 1 odds.
it's gotta be astronomical odds.
Like, dude, you place $10 and you walk out a millionaire, basically. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
You just gotta pick the one game out of every 27,000 that they lose.
you gotta pick the 0.02%.
They literally, all right, yeah, they lose like 1.1 times every 100 games.
That's
So
How do you
you
lose?
pick the right, huh?
1.1? Is that what you said?
Yeah, okay, so fine. They lose 11 games every 1,000 games they play. It's pretty good. You just have to pick the right ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck if I'm in Back to the Future.
Being that guy that cashes out on that parlay.
Listen, if I'm in Back to the Future too, I'm not gambling. I'm not getting the sports almanac. I'm just going. I'm Googling real quick. What are the days the Globetrotters lost? I'm grabbing all 345 of them.
How fucking pissed are you if you're little 7-year-old Riley Trudell and your dad's taking you to see the fucking Globetrotters and they lose? They win every day and then you know they fucking lose. How do you feel, man?
Yeah, the Globetrotters are on a 384 game win streak. Can they keep it going tonight?
until you showed up.
God damn, dude. If I'm your dad, I send you away.
Your dad disowns you of the Globetrotters bad luck charm.
Do you think anyone's like, you know how like Fish has groupies that travel with them?
Follow the fucking Globetrotters? Who would do that?
You think anyone's a super fan and he just follows the Globetrotters every night?
There has to be one. There's got to be one. It's almost like Rule 34 of the internet. For every group, there's got to be a Group E.
Kind
I-
of.
I think there's got to be somebody that follows the Globetrotters game to game. Like Marlins man level, like
Yeah,
fucking
can you imagine
money.
like you win the lottery? And they're like, what are you going to do with this money? They're like, I'm going to do what I've always wanted to do. I'm going to tour with the Globetrotters.
Dude, that's
You're
like the story wrote about you on ESPN, though.
They're like, oh, what are you going to do? They're like, well, I've talked to the team and they're going to let me bunk up with Sweet Feet Smith and
Pete Smith.
Snow P. Johnson is my bunkmate. And we're just, They taught me how to do the thing, and I'm living my best life.
Fucking Snoopy Johnson. Oh, you stupid, Riley.
Haven't you missed me?
Oh, you fucking stupid.
Our minds have deteriorated with no sports. As you can see, we've resorted to.
Well, I've been
Neanderthal
busy, so like
states.
I've been living that wife, the fucking wifed up life. But my roommate just moved out, and my girlfriend's home for a couple weeks. And normally, I'm a very routine guy. I do my work thing. I get home around 5. I'll go either like disc golf or go to the gym or cook dinner. I come home at 7 and I watch sports. I do that every night when I'm like alone, and I don't know what to do with my time.
Are you back in the office?
No, I'm never. Yeah, no,
So you don't even leave anymore.
no. It's
That's
terrible.
the thing.
I hate it.
Wow. See, I'm with two, but my life hasn't changed. I've been getting up and going to work every day since this whole fucking thing started.
I haven't stopped working. So like I've never had to do anything with unemployment. I've worked every day since still, but yeah, I'm just at home now.
I've embraced the mask. I just had to start wearing that a couple
I
weeks.
assumed you would have at some point.
I was gonna talk. I was glad you brought it up because I was like, I get tired of having to wear it 40 hours a week, but at the same time, I understand it, and it's just a respect.
Oh no,
thing
I'm
at
not.
this point.
No, not even remotely in
Chris,
that
I
capacity.
almost had a Chris moment tonight though.
It was not even remotely in that capacity. If I embraced it, I embrace it because I pull it all the way up right under my eyes. I got one of those like long neck coverings. And
Yep.
I'm a fucking ninja. And when I'm out
A
in the
ski
world, I
mask.
hug people. Pretty much. That's the only way that I've made it acceptable. Because other than that, I fucking hate it. It sucks. It fucking sucks.
I walked into Chipotle tonight to get my order, and I do the to-go order. So it's already on a counter, like a foot and a half from the door, that I just grab and then I leave.
I figured you were on DoorDash, gang.
No, they take too much money, and I was already out. So I walk in. They've never required masks because New Hampshire's fairly open. Like not many masks are required.
Wait for your die, feller.
Yeah. I walk in. I reach for my bag. The woman goes, "Sir, we require masks now." And I go, "My food's right here." She goes, "We require masks."
Good to know.
And I was like, my hand is touching this bag already.
Did you yell, "Live free or die, bitch"?
No. I go, "You didn't require masks like 6 days ago," as I'm holding my bag. She's like, "We require masks now. It's a new rule. I have to hand you your food." I was like, "But I'm already touching it." She's like, "Sir, you can't grab that. You need a mask." And I had to go back to my fucking car, grab a mask so I could walk in so she could hand me the same bag in a 3-second interaction. And that was the first time I've been actually angry about masks.
I don't know. I'm not one of those fucking, it's my rights and burr.
Yeah.
I just don't want to fucking do it.
Yeah.
It's my goddamn choice. And now it's not.
Like, how am I able to go to the casino last week and play around with poker chips that everyone else is touching without a mask with 4 other people at a table, but I can't go pick up a paper bag at Chipotle?
Riley, listen.
Joe Exotic halfway through that sentence.
He did. He did. Too.
Thank you. No, because I'm the Wolfman now at Clark's Trading Post.
Dude, Tuba can appreciate this because we're in the same line of work.
Yes.
I have been 15 to 18 liquor stores / gas stations / convenience stores every fucking day since March without a mask. I don't take not one precaution, okay? And I'm fucking fine. Mind you, I'm 40 years old. I'm fucking overweight, okay? Let's put all this fucking evidence into the fucking. I'm submitting.
And you're in Florida. Let's add that because that's a pretty major point.
There's fucking all kinds of X factors down here, dude.
Really just think if people only wore masks when they were in heavily trafficked areas, I get not wanting to wear it when you're out in public a lot because when you're outdoors and you're on like the streets and I see people running in masks, I'm like, yeah, no, couldn't be me. No, thank you.
Like, do you hate yourself?
Yeah,
like, what the fuck are you doing?
Want your chin to get pepperonied all over? Like,
excuse me?
Acne, dude. Like, I broke out like crazy because of acne. Dude, you haven't?
No.
I also wear it for 40 something hours a day. You work here, so you're lucky enough to not have to wear it. But Like when I work, I'll have like literal sweat buildup around my mouth where
Oh.
the mask is, and it'll cause me to break out. Like I have wicked bad like
My
I have
worst
to
part
face
is
wash.
like smelling my own breath. Like I drink
Oh,
coffee
yeah,
like a
coffee,
motherfucker. Yeah.
well, for me, it's
One of those
it's
surprise burps.
Yeah.
The mask. Riley's like, "Fuck, dude, that was gross."
Yeah. I'm like, oh, you know what it is though? Like my work, they are doing free lunch for the people who still have to go in. So when I do have to go in, the other day I got those like sour cream and cheddar chips, the Ruffles. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I forgot that those stink. And I did not have gum at my desk.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to run around for like an hour now. Every breath I went, ugh. Like for like an hour, just ugh.
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 Let me.
Yeah. Yo, you would like a lemonade?
Yes, sir. My headache has subsided. Sports have saved me.
It's the Riley effect.
Glory be to the Rock.
Chris, would you like to tell them who this episode is sponsored by?
This episode is sponsored by Official Clothing. Official Clothing is a streetwear brand rooted in hip hop, headed by the homie Casual out of Tucson, Arizona. I'm trying to do Hunter's read.
Homie Casual from Tucson, Arizona.
Out of Arizona. I smile every time he says that because I'm like, what difference does it make where the fuck he's from, dude?
It doesn't matter where
Go to official.com, OHFISHL, use code Inner Circle and save 25% off some beautiful t-shirts. Kaz has some sports-related shirts. Kaz has some corporate logos, rap logos, spinned with the official flair. Official.com.
Official.com. What code can they use? Inner Circle?
Inner Circle.
Inner
Inner Circle.
Circle.
Inner Circle. Inner Circle.
All right. I don't think football is happening. However, Pat Mahomes
I think you're wrong.
Change
just
the fact,
signed
Don't worry about what he's
the
doing.
biggest deal in sports history.
Now,
I-
I listened to you and your brothers talking about this, and I need you to extrapolate on this because I don't understand how this type of scenario even worked. I thought apparently there's not, but I thought there was a max like deal, like max years, max something.
There's a salary cap for each year.
I've never heard of a 10-year fucking
They
contract.
can
Well,
rework it.
Mike
That's
Trout
the
has
thing
a
with it.
10-year contract.
Yeah.
Different sport.
Yeah.
Same generational talent that you catch once in a lifetime as an owner. Like
Motherfucker,
you're like, yeah,
that's not what I'm talking about, dude. I'm saying baseball's got no rules. They're like, I'll pay you fucking $1 billion.
oh yeah, no, you're
And
absolutely
it's
right.
all guaranteed. Here you go. No, I've never, I mean, yeah, you're right. I've never seen something like this in football, but it's no. So what it is though, is it is like chopped up where it increases each year to like pretty much be, I think it's an estimated contract. Pretty much, I think he gets the max pay the next 10 years. And like those aren't determined yet because, like, 10 years ago, the highest QB salary in the league was like $14 million. Now it's like 38. Like now, so it's going up.
who?
I don't know. It's Mahomes now.
No,
Or
10
it will be.
years ago.
10 years.
Who it was?
10,
Yeah.
2010.
It was,
I
probably-
have to
I think it
guess.
Was it Rodgers?
I think it was Joe Flacco,
Or Breeze.
It was Joe Flacco. He was the number one for a while.
which was ridiculous. It was the year I think that they went to the Super Bowl against Cap.
Yeah, and he
That's funny,
secured
the
that back.
names we threw out: Rodgers, Breeze. Nope, it's Flacco.
Well, to be fair, Ryan Tannehill just secured like $138
Oh,
million
yeah.
bag. So
It just shows right place, right time.
Yeah.
man played 10 games and brought them to like an AFC
He just
championship.
listened to Vrabel. He's like, "All right, coach, what do you want me to do? Give it to the big fella. Sounds good to me."
Like, hey, Derrick Henry's doing that thing he does when everyone else
Where
is
he runs
tired at the
people
end of the
over.
year, and he still has energy. So here you go. He's going to get 200 yards. Get like 150. We'll win.
Throw a couple check downs, we'll be good. We'll be good.
Conversely, the opposite of the Kelly Oubre effect, Henry made me a lot of money.
Yeah.
Henry did me well.
I was on the other side of that fateful day that he got six touchdowns, 40 something points.
I think it was like 300 yards and 4
Yeah,
touchdowns.
just obliterated me. It was a playoff round. I remember that.
Remember that time Jay Ajayi had 2 straight like 400-yard games?
Remember that time Jay Ajayi ran without. No,
I mean, they just don't sign him. Teams just are like, we're good.
He's got like bone on bone contact. He's got
Like-
nothing left in his knee.
He's like Eddie at this point. Nobody wants to
Cheeseburger
take-
Eddie, don't you dare compare Jay
it's like
Ajayi to
Trent
Cheeseburger Eddie.
Richardson. Like nobody wants to take a shot on a guy like that.
No, don't you dare. Trent Richardson. You know who took a shot on him?
The Colts.
No, I can't
Browns.
think of their name. It was my team in the AAF league.
I want to say, for whatever reason, Birmingham Bombers just popped.
It was the Birmingham Irons.
I know Birmingham Bombers. I knew was Michael Jordan's fucking minor league baseball team.
Yeah, the
knew-
Birmingham Irons took a chance on him, and he was the AAF MVP of the season that they didn't finish. Don't come in here with that Trent Richardson shit, too.
Roll Tide, feller.
Roll Tide, I mean, they had that span of years where they had like 9 all-pro running backs in like a 4-year span.
Yeah, they had all of them.
And
What
the
was it?
entire
It was
time-
Mark Ingram, Trent Richardson. Trent Richardson was never good, but they had Alvin Kamara, like Kenyon Drake.
And the entire time, the state's incest rate was still higher than the graduation.
Ooh.
Hate to see it.
Shout out Uncle Lawrence.
Bam.
Yeah, so 10 years, 503 million.
Just a bag.
Is-
Just absolute.
The thing is, like, I still don't really think it's enough.
Oh no, that's
Like,
you could. It's scary because he is this good, so young that you could argue he deserves more.
that's the thing. Someone was like, "Is he worth it?" I go, "His first year in the
You
NFL,
tell me.
he had the best season of all time.
and then the second one,
He won the
won a
Super
ring.
Bowl MVP."
Yeah, that's crazy.
And he's just out there playing, dude. He's out there playing schoolyard football. He's out
He
there
is.
having fun,
The
dude.
man's first step is the mountaintop. He's climbing
I
to
did-
space at this point.
I did see
like,
something today that made me be like, all right, Pat. They interviewed him on like First Take or Sports Center, one of those shows. And he goes, I got what I wanted. I got security for myself and flexibility for the team so we can build a strong team around me forever. I was like, do you know you're taking $50 million a year? Do you think there's money
no, but that's-
to
that's-
distribute? No,
The
there's not.
owner-
This is not flexibility. This is not like when Tom Brady took like half of a pay cut like from the max so he
Can
could
I
build a
explain
team
it to
around.
you?
Huh?
The owners come out and said if they can rework it year to year, and if they need money, Pat's the first guy they called. They told him that at the contract signing, and Pat was.
Do
on
you
board
think
with
they'll
it.
Bobby Bonilla him?
So that that would be funny. Dude. That would be hilarious.
Don't talk about Bobby Big Bags around me, pal. This man will be getting paid until he's 78, and he hasn't played for 20 years.
That's
That is
you
fucking
gotta
incredible.
appreciate that. You got to appreciate that.
Dude, that's the biggest finesse in
Tuba
sports
tried telling
history.
me that was the best the
Dude,
best
it's-
contract in
it's
sports
my-
history. I was
my
like, no,
subjective
Pat
favorite.
Mahomes is the best contract in
Because
sports
the
history.
guy won't have to do anything for 20
I
more years.
Oh, yes, he
Dude,
won't have to do
Mahomes has to
anything
get
for
hit.
20 more years. Are you worried Pat Mahomes is going to waste $500 million? $billion? No.
He's gonna get hit the whole time though. Bobby Bonilla does not have to do
I
anything.
get what
Oh
you-
no, you get hit for $50 million a year.
I bet you every single lineman though is looking at him. with
I
a
don't think they
fucking
are because
target.
if you target Pat Mahomes, you're out of the league forever because that's the NFL's poster boy for the next 20
If
years.
you get him on a clean, you don't think JJ Watt, TJ Watt, guys like that, are
Absolutely
Myles
not.
Garrett salivating at looking at that.
They're
kid?
absolutely
Oh my
not
God.
salivating because
They
they're
are.
worth more because of that guy.
I disagree.
That
with
guy makes the
NFL
sport of football tremendously large amount of money that they wouldn't have gotten before, and now
I
they're
think
getting a
he's
part of
still-
that pie.
I mean, he's talent wise, it's not questionable his like superiority, but I mean, he's the same draw as Brady, Breeze, Rogers.
No,
Yeah,
no.
It's only because Arrowhead constantly sells out that it makes it look like he's a
Every
big
NFL
seller.
team sells out. It's the NFL.
Not true. There are some NFL stadiums that don't. So I bet you the Lions stadium doesn't sell out.
They might.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't target a fan.
Pat
base like
Mahomes,
the Bears or Packers,
If
'cause I know
if
they got
someone
fans,
targets
but,
Pat
like,
Mahomes, they will be blackballed in the NFL
I'm
forever.
just saying, that's like Steph Curry. Like if Steph Curry goes for a layup and you're a center, like aren't you gonna want to play him? You're gonna want to send his shit back.
Are you gonna try? Are you gonna try to paralyze LeBron James? No,
You
because
can't.
he's the
That's
poster
different.
child.
I might.
It's not
LeBron has
different.
a higher chance of paralyzing you than you do him.
That's just not. Like,
what if you're a second string defender and you aren't going to make a name for yourself unless you hurt Pat Mahomes?
Bingo. There's
Do you
guys with
remember-
bad intentions out
do you
there. I
remember who
promise
snapped
you he
Tom
has a
Brady's
target.
ankle the year he missed a season?
I saw
Yeah,
the
let's hear it
special
then.
on it on sports.
Okay. Oh, you actually do? Okay.
Here's one thing. While Tuba's thinking about that name, here's one thing to consider. Pat Mahomes was last year's Madden cover athlete,
Yeah, and he won a Super Bowl.
but the curse doesn't take effect till the following year.
That's never how it's worked. It's
I was
just
gonna say, I think
they
who
broke
was
it.
that
New
killed-
rules. It's new school.
no Brady broke the Madden curse.
Yeah, Brady
Oh,
broke
of course
it.
Brady
doubled
did it.
down on
He did. He
Antonio
was the first
Brown.
person in like a 9-year span that didn't get injured, and then he went and won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, so it just went back.
It's going to win
Yeah,
another
Antonio
one too.
Brown.
What? Fire the cannon.
Goddamn right, seats today, baby. Buck Nation.
So hey, I saw this. What you guys were talking about. I saw this graphic while I was scrolling Facebook earlier, and I saved it.
Oh, Tuba, did you remember who it was?
I think it was a Jets defensive event. Was it against the Jets?
No, it sure wasn't. So
Okay,
there you go.
I got it wrong.
Chris, it won't bring your name up. If you're a middle tier linebacker.
God damn it! My whole point hinges on fucking Tuba's memory of the goddamn Tom Brady hit. Come on, man. Apparently, it's going to be $45 million a year. I think is what his salary is going to be, and it's still
Yeah, because I think it's an extension off of his rookie contract.
right.
It's going to come out to a total of 503, but I think that's like the 12-year deal.
So this says what $45 million can get you as a team. Lamar Jackson, 2.4, Nick Chubb, 1.8, Juju, 1, Chris Godwin, 0.8, Cooper Kupp, 1, George Kittle, 0.7, all the fucking O-line, defenders, Joey Bosa, TJ Watt, Darius Leonard,
Old owners are paying people what they're worth. What?
Minka Fitzpatrick, Xavier Woods, Tre'Davious White. Fucking dude, you can get yourself an entire starting fucking lineup.
A fucking Pro Bowl team.
Yes. I want the team with Lamar Jackson, Nick Chubb, Juju, Chris Godwin, Cooper Kupp, and George Kittle. Fuck,
To be
dude.
fair,
Give me that all-
a lot of those guys are in their rookie contracts, and they weren't first
Yeah.
rounders, so they're not making a lot.
Be that as it may.
Yes. Well, so that's what they're going to have to do for 10 years
They're all
straight.
betting on themselves at this point.
Well, no, that's what they're going to like. That's always how the Pats have been able to maintain is Bill drafts well, and he drafts like the positions that you wouldn't normally like. He's always has a decent
Left
line.
guard,
Yeah, he always has a decent line, a good defense, and serviceable
nose
receivers.
tackles, like just weird.
But like the second they want a bag, he says bye. Like he's had how many Hall of Fame like
Chandler
defensive
Jones
ends?
is
Yeah,
the first one that
and
comes to mind,
linebackers that
Richard
have come through.
Seymour.
he sends them away. Matt Light, he wanted his first bag. Bye. Like that's what they're gonna have to do. They're gonna have to rely on their rookie contracts, get those first 5 years, and hope they draft really well for 10 straight years. Because like they don't have the money to play around with.
Nope.
Because the owner can go to Pat. You know what Pat can say? He's like, I think I want the $68 million this year. I think I'm gonna keep it. I'll be fine. Like the Chargers have the next phenom and no one's stopping him. He's like, I'm good with 8-8 and 68 mil.
Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. He's young right now. He's 2 years in. I mean, how's it going to feel at 4?
Yeah.
How's it going to feel at 6? You know?
Chris, I think you'll find some humor in this. I found some humor in this earlier. It's such an astronomical number, but I like to break it down in the amount of games they're actually paying him for, which with next year moving to a 17 game schedule, let's say they're paying him for 170 games, 10 years times 17, 170 games. He's making 480 something million, right? Let's say the 500 million. Mike Trout also signed a 10-year contract worth 400 million, which made me laugh when I put it into, instead of going by years, like how many years, if I put it into games.
Okay.
Can I interject for one
Yes.
second? It's funny because you think you state these numbers, not including sponsorships. Mike Trout's the least marketable superstar of all time. Pat Mahomes might be one of the most unique, therefore making him one of the most marketable names in his sport of all time. Like,
I don't know what your point was there, but
No,
I'll get
because,
back
like,
to mine.
You add like another giant chunk
Oh,
of money
yeah.
that he's going to be getting from sponsorships. Like that
Correct.
cushion's going to be fat.
See,
Okay.
Pat, see a Nike guy?
I don't.
Or is he one of those
He's got an Under Armour vibe.
I always thought that when I was a kid and Shaq was my favorite player, I always hated that he was sponsored by Reebok. I'm like, I'm a fucking Reebok dog.
Yeah, well, listen, now he makes Walmart sneakers, so
now he makes fucking delicious chicken sandwiches.
that's true too.
And he sponsored Papa John's Shaq-a-roni pizza.
Okay, so if you put the contracts of Mike Trout and Pat Mahomes, which are the two biggest contracts currently in sports history, next to each other, but instead of putting them on a per year basis, you put them on a per game basis, they look a lot different.
Okay.
So,
well, there's how many games in baseball versus football?
Mike Trout is getting paid $400 million for 1,620 sports games, compared to Pat Mahomes' $500 million for 170 sports games.
Now you took that a step further and you broke it down to per quarter.
He's
making $1 million a quarter of football.
Pat Mahomes, I think he's making like 0.8 million. Because I think it's like 3.1 per game.
I thought it was like $90-something an hour.
I think he makes this is what it is. He makes $1.6 a second for the next 10 years.
That's ridiculous.
I was gonna say there was a ridiculous number. Like it just that makes more sense.
Or maybe a minute, and then like every minute he makes like $9,000.
Yeah.
What are you doing with that? Like at what point? What are you doing with that?
Buy his girlfriend a new voice.
Did you just
box.
say buy a girl?
No,
yes.
Yes. His sucks. And a new brother, because his also sucks.
Hey, don't you fucking talk shit about Jackson Mahomes. He is my king, my TikTok king. He's super gay and everyone knows it but him. Do you know about Jackson Mahomes, Chris?
You know I don't, dude.
Okay. Jackson Mahomes
You'd agree with me
is Patrick's younger brother, okay? And he wants to be a TikTok star.
It's so cringe.
Everyone does, right?
But like he thinks he's like because he has a decent following, not like in the millions, like all the young TikTok star dancer people, but he has enough where people know his name, like maybe like a couple 100,000. And he always makes TikTok videos like of him doing weird dances and trying to be, and he's so gay, like so gay. And he doesn't know it. Why
don't you reach out to him?
Me?
Yes, you.
Like, hello, my king, Jackson.
I love you so much.
I stan him because I think it's really funny. So he gets bullied relentlessly. Every time he posts a video on TikTok, the first like 12 comments, like the top, it's like Reddit almost, where the top comments get voted up. The first like 10 all just say, Pat, come get your sister.
Jeez.
He did like an Ask Me Anything the other day. And one of the people were like, are you even, there's someone, it wasn't even a question. They just go, not a question, but I bet you're not even allowed in the Chiefs locker room. And he's like, what are you even talking about? Like, I'm always in the Chiefs locker room. Like, he doesn't get the jokes that people are like, you stink. I bet they don't let you in.
That's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, so he gets bullied, and I feel he's my king. Also, he's like 6'9".
Yeah, he's just a waste of height.
What?
Yeah. Would you like to see Jack? I'm gonna pull up a Jackson Mahomes TikTok.
But you know what? At the end of the day, his brother's a fucking half a billionaire. So what the fuck?
Oh, all of his videos are. Oh, here we go. We got a Jackson Mahomes TikTok compilation.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, this is where we're at. Yeah, no, most of his things are like in his brother's. Can you hear? I don't think you'll be able to hear, but that's fine. So here's a Jackson Mahomes TikTok compilation. Let's see if it loads. So here he is.
Oh, I can hear it.
You can hear?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this is Jackson Mahomes. He always tries to make sexy faces. And he's like 9 feet tall.
Who the fuck does he remind me of? He reminds me of someone.
Pat Mahomes?
No. Come on, that's too easy. We're in his brother.
So here he is. Here he is with football stuff. I have no idea how old he is, because like you got to be somewhat old to be like 6'9", right? Like
you would think.
Oh, here we go.
I don't get TikTok.
Oh, okay.
You make me feel
No,
old.
TikTok's it's a weird place, man.
You make me feel old.
I did a TikTok.
Did you?
I did. I'm a good dancer. All right. I put my girlfriend to shame.
I believe you.
I put my girlfriend. I put my girlfriend to shame. I move these fucking Spanish hips, and she looks like a guy. She's just there.
When your hips don't lie,
These hips
sounds
don't
as
lie.
good as say.
But yeah, we're a TikTok couple now, essentially. So some other
Is this
things.
Hunter now?
Hunter knows.
Is this
Hun-
TikTok polygamy?
Ugh, I don't like that.
That sounds so Gen Z. It's not even funny.
It really does.
TikTok polygamy.
Ugh.
Shout out to Ben, the angry dad, in the comments. He's yelling Raiders, man. I'm
Raider Nation.
not a Raider
Uh,
guy. I'm excited for Las Vegas.
You know the
excited
ticket.
for
You know the
John
ticket price
Gruden.
for those are going like thousands of dollars.
I'm sure, dude. If it was a non-Rona situation, dude, I bet Las Vegas would be fucking
Dude, you could
lit.
you could literally just walk from the stadium to the strip carrying like out in the open carry, not weapon, but alcohol.
Thank you for clarifying too, but that you want to carry a Bud Light instead of a Glock 9 down fucking.
They may not take too kindly to
The
that.
look of panic too. He goes, "Not a gun."
He's like, well, that shooting
YouTube
happened.
pulled our video the other day for Cracker Barrel games. I don't know what the fuck they'll do for it.
Speaking of which, I listened to the whole thing, and I could not find out one section that was removable.
So I did cut about 30 seconds of Hunter talking about his dick right when we went live. That's my only guess.
You could talk about dick on YouTube.
I thought you could, but maybe not.
I don't know, man. Well, if you can't, I just talked about dick on YouTube now, so we're gonna get this video yanked. So whatever. That's
No, so usually it's the first 10 minutes. The first 10 minutes you have to behave on YouTube.
Is that how it works?
I think that's how it works. Yeah.
Well, Jason gets our videos pulled every single creatures for
Well,
waving.
yeah. I mean, he's Jason.
Every single time, waving the fucking gun, and then we get the thing.
Oh, is that what he does?
He brings his gun to the studio, and during the song, he's sitting there going like this, and next thing you know, it's like fucking removed from YouTube.
That's incredible. I do want to talk about and make picks for UFC 251
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
because this is the greatest card I've.
I
What-
don't even care about the fucking thing. I haven't watched a fight in like 3 years, but it's Abu Dhabi Fight Island, and that could be like a B flick movie. So I'm intrigued.
I'll give you my login because I'm going to my girlfriend's this weekend, so I won't be able to split UFC with anyone. So I'll give you my login so you can watch.
I'm
But no, so I've been like heavily following the UFC. I wish Throwing Smoke was around today because I'm like actually a UFC fan now. Like,
Where you at, Joe B? Where
I
you at,
know.
Joe B?
where you at, Lawrence?
Bacon breads, bacon artisan ducks. Come on, man.
Running
Duck
for
butter,
governor.
man. Making duck butters and breads.
So this is like the best card I've ever seen. There's 3 title fights and then 2 women fights that are like, it's my 2 favorite women fighters and they're both fucking dogs. So
Who is
like
it?
this is a good card. I recommend watching. And here are my picks. So the first fight, if you haven't heard, Gilbert Burns, I don't know if he got COVID or he
Tested
just
positive. For COVID.
he couldn't make the fight and they were the main event. So there's 3 main events in this one.
Okay.
Because there's 3 title fights, but the main event was Usman, who's like the
I know.
number 2 or 3 pound for pound fighter.
Yeah, I know him.
He's Khabib, but in a different division. That's the best way to put it. Like the name's not as big as Connor's, like when they fought, but he's like way better than like it's the same as that.
He's got a big name, and I'll tell you why. Usman is the fucking rapper on 90 Day Fiance, dude.
Oh,
Usman.
Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy, that's Usman.
It's Soulja
dude.
Boy.
Hell yeah. I'm team Usman for Soldier Boy.
Hell yeah. Well, he's fighting now Jorge Masvidal, who one of the big dogs in the UFC. He's one of the guys with the biggest name. I think he's gonna get washed. I think he's gonna get fucking smoked because he's going on 5 days prep.
Yeah, but
and has
he's
to fly.
He's prepared for Usman his entire life. This fight was supposed to happen.
prepared his whole
originally.
entire life. He's just
No, I'm
5
saying-
days ago. He
I'm
knew he was
saying
doing this fight.
Yeah, if you knew on Super Bowl Sunday, Usman challenged Masvidal. Masvidal was like, bet I'll accept. All this COVID shit goes down, that fight gets scrapped. That entire time, Masvidal was training for Usman.
Yes, but
And
he hasn't for the
still
past
was.
5 months.
He said there was definitely still work being
Okay,
done.
regardless,
He's only 15
Masvidal's
pounds
not
overweight.
better than Usman, and he has 5 days prep. So, it should be a fucking sick fight, though.
Okay.
My only problem with Masvidal is he has all the hype in the world in the not the WWE, in the UFC because of that knee on Askren.
I mean, he has 35 wins.
Yeah, he's got a weak chin.
35 wins.
Yeah, that's 35 fights at least.
He's beaten Nate Diaz. He beat Nate Diaz and he beat Ben Askren. Ben Askren's a world champion wrestler.
He's
Still
lost
beating him
13
regardless.
times.
You could still. I mean, like Connor has lost plenty of times.
Not 13.
Connor's still gotten washed, and
Connor
still
has gotten
walked
washed.
away. The best name in the game, obviously. I think his stock does nothing but rise, taking it on short notice.
I agree. I'm not
disrespect
arguing
the
that.
fuck out of him.
I'm not arguing that. They're putting asses in the seats.
Oh,
His
for sure.
because that's what I'm
His-
saying is
his
his name is his name as if he's the top like fighter.
Chris, he's a talker.
Yes.
This guy is literally a street fighter.
He's
Well,
a
you can
less
Continue
known
with your
McGregor.
picks.
That earns a lot of points with Dana too, though. When you
It
take
does.
fights 5 days notice, Dana's going to remember that. So even if you lose, you're going to get
He's in
another.
the middle of a contract negotiations. He ended up not getting what he originally wanted, and then they're like, okay, they disconnected for a little bit, and he literally he told Chael, former fighter Chael Sonnen, he's related to me. I'm Chael Sonnen's son, by the way. Fun fact.
You are. Shut up.
Yeah,
You do kind of look like his ass, though.
totally
kinda
related.
like
I
feel like me and Tuba both look like different variations of a Chael Sonnen.
No, you're like Dan Hendricks. Or Johnny Hendricks. If Johnny Hendricks and Chael Sonnen had a baby, because you had the fucking caveman thing going. But
You got Brendan Cobb's cheeks
he's just way more.
looking
But,
like you got stung by a bunch of bees and shit.
All right, go on, Tuba.
But yeah, this guy he just knows how to sell, and he told Chael Sonnen this today that he didn't get what he wanted, so he knew something out of the ordinary was going to have to happen in order for Dana to want to like give him what he wants, and that's it. He didn't get exactly what he wanted out of the contract, but he got close to it. And
I mean, he's
lot
got
of
a title
respect
fight.
from Dana.
Yeah. He's got a title ahead of
Because,
him.
like you said, that earns a lot of points with the boss when you step up on the call in and you're 15 pounds overweight. You got to cut all that within 5 days and train and get and just maintain health at that. Because I mean, it's not healthy to lose that much weight that quickly, but they find a way. He said he turned his room up to max heat. He's wearing a double layered robe. Something like that. Like he literally just doesn't do anything but sit in the hot ass room and sweat and do like training in it. Yeah.
Sounds miserable.
It's
My
fucked up,
worry
the
is that
life
it's
of
just gonna be a-
wrestlers and fighters, dude. It's fucked.
My worry is that like they're gonna sell a lot of tickets to this now because Fight Island and then this fight,
Oh yeah.
and it probably won't be that entertaining of a fight.
The craziest thing too is if Jorge, and I have him winning, but I only have him winning because he's a miracle kid. He's a miracle fighter, is how he gets his like wins. Is he usually gets them when he's the underdog. So in this one, he's a 3-1 underdog.
Jorge the Miracle Kid Masvidal. I mean, I've been saying that for months.
Yeah,
It's
me
on it.
too.
It's in his yearbook, dude. You didn't know that?
Miracle Kid's in his yearbook. Fuck up.
So what are your picks for the rest of the card? Because that fight, you're absolutely right, could go either way. It's a punt. Jorge's always got a puncher's chance.
Yes.
He's a better hands guy than he is a grapple guy. Usman's just a problem on the mat. That's
Usman's
what
the
it
problem
comes down.
anywhere though too. That's what.
yeah.
I'm
Realistically.
taking Usman. Chris, who you got? You got
Who's
any
the guy that has 5 days?
Masvidal,
Jorge
the Miracle
Masvidal.
Kid.
Yeah, well, it's not going to be a miracle in Abu Dhabi this time. I'm going with Usman, Soldier Boy.
All right, the next fight is Alexander
good
Volkanovski versus Max Holloway. This is a rematch.
Yeah.
It's for the featherweight title.
Yep.
Volkanovski's 21-1.
I
Isn't
just-
that one
I like,
Holloway?
I like Volkanovski's range.
Yeah, I don't know.
The longer fighter, he's a little bit. I mean, he has less losses, which always looks good on paper,
Mhm.
but he's fought 4 less times. So what's to say that his record couldn't look exactly the same as Max's if he fought?
If his
4 more
record
times,
looks the same as Max's in 4
Well, they have the
fights, he
same
will
wins.
not be in
Max,
the league
Max
anymore.
and him are both have 21 wins.
Who's the
so-
favorite? Do you know that?
I think. Well,
ESPN's not showing odds.
Oh, okay.
I would say Volkanovski just because of look.
Looks like a scary Russian.
Yeah,
Holloway looks like a crackhead, your crackhead uncle who's kind of like always jittery.
I was just gonna say he looks like a bitch, but I mean, we'll go with yours too.
they have Holloway at plus 165.
All right. I'm going to keep going with the favorites and take Volkanovski then.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that's one we all agree on. I just don't see Max getting through his reach.
I think
He's got a hell of a reach.
I think
and
he
as
has
soon
a
as
better
you get-
chance than in the next fight. Peter Yan versus Jose Aldo.
Yeah, that's gonna
Aldo has not been the same since fucking
Nope,
McGregor ruined
put
him.
Yeah, put him into the cage.
Yeah, that's for the bantamweight title. I'm taking Yan on
Jan's
there.
got fresh legs, younger guy.
Yeah.
He's got experience. I mean, Jose Aldo does have the veteran experience. He could tire the kid out if he wanted to. He's much younger than him, so it'll be good. But these women's matches next.
The women's matches are fucking scrappers.
I mean,
Rose
so-
Namajunas, hell yeah, dude.
So Rose Namajunas, she's like my favorite fighter.
Thug
she
Rose.
shouldn't have lost
she's a
last
fucking-
time, too.
She's a dog.
She beat the shit out of Andrade the first time around, but I think she got a slam that knocked her out while Rose was holding.
Yes,
onto
she
the,
did. She
Kimura
did. She
lock.
got slammed. It was
Yeah,
a slam
she was
knockout.
holding onto a- she was
While
holding onto the
she
Kimura
was
lock.
kicking the shit out of
Yeah.
her, but then got knocked out via slam.
She had
Like
she was
Rampage
holding on-
Jackson style?
Yes, like Rampage Jackson. She was kicking the shit
But Chris,
out of
because
her.
She was holding on to this woman. She
had her in a chokehold almost, right?
Kimura lock.
Yeah.
She had her shoulder blade almost out of place. This woman out of raw power literally just picked her up and slammed her.
Knocked her out.
Like, yeah, it was pretty
That's what I did.
badass. The ending of the fight was a bloodbath.
All right, so I'm taking Rose in this. Rose is a fucking dog. Thug Rose.
Thug Rose, yeah,
I-
hell yeah.
I'm gonna take Andrade then. If you, I'll defer from you guys only because I think Andrade has that rent free.
And then the final matchup with my honey.
Paige Van Zandt.
The best Instagram follow.
Vote against her.
The best Instagram follow you can make right now is go over to Paige Van Zandt's Instagram and follow her. She's a fighter with titties. You've never seen something like that in your life, a fighter with titties. They're all flat-chested. She's hot. She's the hottest person in sports, WWE or not. Paige Van Zandt. Go make that follow. I'm picking my honey because those titties going to get her with the 1-2 smack. Chris, what do you got?
Smack, smack. I got Paigey too. I followed her back in 2015 because she had a picture of herself with a gun on her shoulders like this, and she was looking all good and shit. Little wife beater. White trash hot.
I ain't
Trailer
picking
park hot's a thing. You know that, Riley.
Listen,
just because I don't want her face to get touched.
you're picking her because you don't want her face to get
I
touched?
don't want it to get messed up.
She'll be fine.
I think
Why
so.
is she fighting? Why? There's no reason to be
Go
taking.
be a model.
Yeah, right?
Save fighting for the ugly. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, like, really? Ronda Rousey got out of there. Go do acting. You'll be fine.
Don't worry about it. Too, but the road we've already started to go down with this conversations are already problematic. So don't backpedal now. Just
we're.
lean into it.
Lastly, I wanted to talk to you about what you got.
I was gonna say the winner of this welterweight division, the welterweight title fight.
Is that Jan Aldo?
Will face Masvidal Usman.
Oh, okay.
Will face either Conor McGregor or I believe Justin. Not Justin.
No,
Gaethje,
it is. It's Gaethje or McGregor. McGregor's going to come back if Masvidal wins.
No, because Gaethje's fighting Khabib. It's going to be McGregor is going to want to come up to middle welter.
Well,
to fight
McGregor's
for
looking
that
thick
belt.
right now. Have you seen him? He's putting on weight.
Yeah,
So
that's
he
what I
might be
mean.
going up.
He's literally going up to welterweight. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's light.
Yeah.
He's lighter. Feather usually he likes to fight with the lighter guys, but yeah, he's going up to welter, and just that'll be a nice preview for the second.
Yeah, no.
defense
So
of that fight.
I think what's going to happen if Usman wins, we're going to see Gaethje Khabib.
That'd
The
be
winner
nice.
of that will
Oh my
face
God.
Usman, If Masvidal wins, I think
They're two different divisions though. Khabib's the lightweight champ.
That's true.
That's why I'm saying like I think Connor's going up, and I think regardless we're gonna see Burns back in the conversation, obviously because he deserved to.
I think if Masvidal wins, I think Masvidal's first title
McGregor.
defense is against McGregor.
Oh yeah, dude. Can you imagine a better ticket?
Yeah.
A better seller? Like these two guys would cut WWE-esque promos on each other and just fucking murder them. Like your ears would be blessed. Literally.
It would be a good one.
That's all I had to say though, is the winner of this fight gets McGregor basically.
I want to talk to you about our good pal Cam Newton, Christian.
Okay, well, I want to talk to you about it as well. So
I've done myself a disservice because I've convinced myself it's gonna go great.
See,
This is actually good.
It looks so good.
This is good because when I saw this, I was like thinking to myself, is Riley going to backpedal now?
I'm not backpedaling. I'm all in on Bucks Nation.
Riley's going to burn the ships, and he's going back to New England because Cam's in town, which I wouldn't blame you. I don't blame you at all.
No. So what I think my thinking has always been is like I've always had an NFC team that I out of pocket root for. I'm always like, yeah, go woo. Like, usually it's whoever's quarterback I have in fantasy. They're just my NFC
For
team.
me,
That
it was
year.
Unfortunately the Giants.
And then I would always be a Pats fan, and then I have my AFC team that I silently root for. Now, my primary team is the NFC team. So now I need an AFC team. I'm going to keep the Pats.
Obviously.
But yeah, I hear it all the time. People aren't. So the thing that's weird up here is everyone was like, Stidham's our guy.
Yeah, dude. Oh man,
we're in
the Belichick disciples, dude. Oh my god, they pissed.
Oh, what was that? Jarrett Stidham ready to rip and roll for these Pats. Jarrett Stidham is gonna bring us to 11-5.
Well, think about it, dude. What do you do when you're scorned by someone? You're like, I don't fucking need them. We're fine the way we are.
We'll be better off without them. Even though you're lying to yourself the whole
time.
Yeah.
It hurt you in your soul when Tom fucking sold his house and left.
Oh man, dude. You could tell though, like from an outside point of view, watching our friends group like crumble as Tom Brady drove the dagger in when he first he opted out of like the
well, he made that commercial that said he's coming back.
Well, he's like, I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, yeah, you remember that? The Super Bowl commercial where he was like,
with the old razzle dazzle?
It started years ago though because there was a story on Felger and Maz when he skipped practices in the early off season to go or preseason to go on vacation. And
Tom Brady don't go
done
to
that
practice
in 15 years. But now he goes and says to the Tampa Bay owner, he's like, or one of the coaches, he's like, football's fun again.
Yeah, he's got to build a rapport. He's got something new. He hasn't had anything new in a while.
Oh, I definitely don't doubt it. I just think you could tell if you were like looking from the outside in, you could tell it was coming. Like it's
probably a good break for everyone because like he's pushed away young talent forever because he only trusts his core. So he's like, our young guys have just been fucked.
If
the
it's
past
not
few
broke,
years.
don't fix it.
Yeah.
Even though the tools are rusty at this point.
Okay. So I have a theory here. Chris.
I'm all ears.
So Joe Thuney, he's a lineman for the Pats, and he's on the trading block.
Okay.
He's set to make a lot of money. Specifically, the same amount of money as one Odell Beckham. The Browns need offensive line help, and they're retarded. So I'm putting this into the stratosphere, all right?
Speak it into existence, Riley. Give it power.
Joe Thuney is going to be traded to the Cleveland Browns for Odell Beckham. But wait, Jarvis Landry will not play.
Wait, there's more?
Jarvis Landry will not play without his best friend, Odell Beckham. So, look at that. Joe Thuney is now traded and a 4th-round draft pick because that's what elite wide receivers are going for now, as made display by DeAndre Hopkins.
What team did he get traded for, by the way?
Hopkins?
Yes.
He's a Cardinal now.
He's a Cardinal now, yeah.
I forgot which team it
for
was.
what, a 3rd and a 5th?
Yeah, just
and what else? And a player too.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no. What's his name?
Oh, it was David Johnson.
David Johnson. Yeah. Fuck David Johnson. I hope he dies in Houston.
So
Wow.
So, Joe Tooney,
Damn.
Joe Tooney,
Goes
and
me Tuba.
Joe Tooney in a sixth because it's Bill. He's not getting any. He's not giving anything up.
Yeah.
Hey, make it whatever you want because this whole fairy tale scenario that you're playing out here is never going to happen. So just
No. Hear me out. Joe Tooney and a six for OBJ and Jarvis Landry. Cam Newton now has toys to play with. He's never had talent around him. He's back and healthy because he got to sit out
Remember
all
when
last
he
year.
made Kelvin Benjamin?
Listen, that's loosely
That one
made
year?
Kelvin Benjamin.
And
Fat
even with no talent around you, allow me to introduce you to fucking Christian McCaffrey.
He hasn't been able to play with McCaffrey.
Yeah, he got benched.
He was around him.
Also, I don't give a fuck about your running back. Running backs are trash. I don't give a shit about your running back. I don't care what his name is.
He's a fucking half a receiver.
Yeah, half a receiver.
McCaffrey's
That means
the
he's the
only
equivalent
guy
to
in
an
the league where I'm like-
an undrafted free agent in the book of trades. Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. with you,
Trade.
McCaffrey's the only running back in the league where I'm like, yeah, that guy's like the issue on the offense. Like you can't stop him.
That's nice. Is he going to win you a game? Clearly not.
Yep,
No.
he will. He will too.
He won't.
Yeah,
he didn't. Remember? He didn't. That's the last game Cam played. He got shut down like 4 times in a row on the 1 yard line for the win.
You remember all this shit, dude. Like I would forget that as soon as it happened, dude. Harking back into your files and pulling up fucking game tape and shit.
Yeah. Listen, if you pay a running back, you're dumb. And that's just what it is.
And that's just what it is because you could get Nick Chubb for 1.2 or what the fuck else I said, right?
The Cowboys could have Jamal Adams and like Xavier Woods right now if they didn't give Zeke $22 million a year.
Xavier Rhodes, you mean?
Yes, thank you.
Xavier
And
Rhodes
Woods.
is a wrestler.
Listen,
You could have
There's-
Tate DiBiase if you didn't give fucking Ezekiel Elliott that
what
contract.
what a fucking deep pull.
He's rich.
I wish I had the $1 million laugh. That would be a fucking signature.
So I'm speaking into existence. Joe Tooney and a sixth for OBJ and Jarvis Landry. Cam Newton's going to have his toys to play with. He's healthy. He's spry. The last healthy
I don't
season he played, he brought him to a
He's
Super Bowl.
spry. Don't say he's spry because that's one thing
He's
that
31.
I considered when I wanted him to go to Chicago. I was like, he relies on mobility and he's not as mobile as he used to be, dude. He's
They gave him a year off last year. They said, don't use your legs.
well, yeah, for a reason, dog. Like,
Yeah, or give him a break. Listen, you can't tell me shit
cautiously
anymore.
optimistic, dude. I'm cautiously.
Peyton Manning couldn't move his fucking neck and then came back.
That
Huh?
Peyton Manning's game wasn't scrambling though. Cam's game is on the move. On the
Yeah,
move,
but
throw,
Peyton
run.
Manning had a career-ending injury and then came back and had the best season in NFL history up until Pat Mahomes.
Stand still. Hike the ball and stand there. Fucking plant your feet, big guy. That's all he's got to do. Cam's got to juke and shimmy and jive and fucking flip over the thing like Michael Vick and shit and do spin moves and Supermans. And that's his whole fucking thing, dude. He's got to be able to do that.
Well,
If
we'll
you
see now.
That
Yeah,
out-
but you know, he won't if he gets OBJ and Jarvis Landry because I spoke it into existence.
well, he's got 4 fucking mediocre running backs and Julian Edelman. So let's see.
Facts, big facts. To be fair, he's either not going to be on the roster in like 3 weeks,
Who?
or he's going to have like a really good year. Like Bill's going to cut him immediately if he
Cam?
doesn't see it. Yeah,
I think Cam's gonna be great. I mean, like we were calling Jameis to the Pats, and I think that would have made a lot more sense just because
do
of
too.
age.
The system.
Yeah, age and system, and I think he would have bought into it. Where Cam's long in the tooth, dude. Cam's gonna do what Cam's gonna do, and y'all
Well,
have
so that is the thing though that might work. There's not many quarterbacks who are going to be comfortable stepping in as Tom Brady's replacement in this league.
Oh yeah, fucking Cam Newton would in a heartbeat.
Cam Newton doesn't give a fuck.
No, not
Like
one.
there's a lot of people who would succumb to that pressure and probably didn't take that job for that exact reason. They're like, I don't want to be the guy who fucks up after Tom Brady left. Cam Newton goes, I don't give a single fuck.
He's
what
gonna come in there and lose, and then show up to the fucking press conference dressed like Red Riding Hood's grandma, dude. He don't give a fuck, dude.
Correct. But you need that don't give a fuck, like to step into Tom Brady's footsteps here.
Did you hear his quote on his video? Like the video package.
Oh, you mean in the videos where he's been working out with Odell Beckham?
He's like, I'm tired of being humble now.
I saw that little fucking eye flick you just did.
I was waiting on one of y'all to set me up.
Subtle fucking cues, dude. Yep. No, I saw that too about
I
he's
did too.
dumb being humble. Which I laughed because I was like, when did you start being humble?
Were you ever? You got to download a Cam Newton keyboard onto your phone if you want to talk to him. Stupid fucking language.
Yeah, well, I'm excited because if he does well, what does that mean for Brady?
Oh yeah, that's the tough part is like there's so many different if they both do well, we just have to wait longer to see who was right all along.
I saw something and I don't remember what
it
it was.
validates Bill.
If they both do well,
No. Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if they both do well, it validates
there's
Bill.
easy answers if one does well and one doesn't. But if both do well or both stink, it's going to be hard forever. Like if they're both like just done.
I think what I read, I think this is what it is, but I don't remember exactly. Like if Cam does well, that exposes Brady as a system quarterback. But if he does bad, then Brady's automatically the best quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
Or something to that effect. I don't know. Maybe I fucked that up, but that's something.
Well, yeah. So that's what it is. Like if Brady does well and the Pats don't, it was Brady who was great all this time. If Brady stinks and Belichick does really well, it was Belichick who was right the whole time. But then people will always make the case of, well, Brady's old now. So, like, we're never going to answer this shit unless Brady fucking thrives and Bill stinks. That's the only solution where we will ever have a conclusion is if Brady was the greatest and Bill rode off of it.
I just can't see why both can't be true. Why can't
I mean, they both are true, but people want to know who had the higher, who was the 51%, who was the 49. People just want to know that.
I don't know, dude. I think it's irrelevant.
I agree.
Yeah,
they're both sitting pretty with what's Bill got 9 rings? Like
he said 9 rings.
he does. I think he's got a thumb.
Yeah. He's got a couple with the Giants.
Yeah.
I know that.
So who knows? Chris, do you think all sports are going to come back? Final wrap up conversation here.
Well, yeah, I do. I just don't know how it's going to look.
So you think fully NFL is happening? You think?
I do.
I think NBA is the safest. I think like we can assume we're going to have an NBA season. That one.
I'm telling you, dude, that it's NFL will be there. NCAA, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with the kids. They might shut the kids down. NFL will be there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. If you had to put a percentage on each sport, I'm going to list you the sport. Tell me how confident you are they'll come back. All right?
Okay.
Tuba, you can do this too. NBA.
80.
All right, and fit. All right, let's count this. We'll do comeback and then finish their season. So
yeah, 80.
NBA comeback percentage.
87.
Tuba?
Yeah, mine was 80.
Finish the season percentage. Like they will have a crowned NBA champ.
That's included in that.
Okay.
I would say 100% certain that they're going to start. But
Okay.
20% uncertain that they're going to finish. So
Okay.
Yeah.
MLB. What do you think percentage they will start and have an opening day?
God, I'm 40%.
The MLB?
It's going to be tough to. Well, no, because.
So have you seen what they're doing in the MLB?
Social distance. It just involves the fans.
Have you seen? They're not. I'm not even. I'm assuming fans will not be allowed at any sporting event in this year.
Okay, then yeah.
Have you seen what the MLB is doing?
Not all of it.
They're only the AL East and the NL East are only playing each other. The AL Central and the NL Central are only, or like you're playing within your division and then the NL East. So like we're only this year playing the AL East teams and then like the Braves, Nationals.
Okay, that makes sense.
So they're staying on they're pretty much staying in your
I'd
region.
say about 75% that they finish.
That they finish?
Because
you think opening day is set?
Yeah. There might be a spike in cases midway through the season.
Yep, fall.
And like they're like, yeah, maybe we should shut this shit down. But
Chris?
I'm telling you, dude, they just got to get to November. That's all they got to get to November. Once they pass the election, dude, they're going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine, Riley. I promise.
All right, so that begs the question, NFL, because that interacts with your November.
Yeah, absolutely.
Per start percentage.
100.
Finish the season.
Well, I'll give you 95 just because.
Yeah, finish the season percentage.
100%. 100%.
You're 95 that they start, but 100 that they finish.
Yes, absolutely.
I like the confidence.
Thank you. Because the Super Bowl is in my town this year, Riley, and everyone's coming.
Listen, I have tickets to it. I know. I know.
WrestleMania was in your town last year. That doesn't matter.
What?
I said WrestleMania was in your town last year. That doesn't matter. They'll shut it down for anything. And McMahon has Trump's pocket, basically.
I need you to look me in the eye
Okay.
and tell me that you acknowledge that the Super Bowl
is much bigger than WrestleMania. Yes.
Okay, I just needed you.
I'm saying that Vince McMahon could pull any strings he wanted to with Donald Trump because they're best buddies and they know the governor of Florida. I'm telling you that if anybody was to pull any strings and have any fans anywhere, it would have been Vince McMahon, and it's just not possible.
I mean, he does have fans right now.
Yeah,
right?
It's developmental talent they just placed in the crowd.
Those are so funny looking. I watched one the other week with you. There's like at the WWE events right now, like the weekly shows. There's like 18 fans behind a plexiglass wall.
They have the developmental guys in the crowd, cheering to give it a crowd atmosphere.
They're like, "Yeah, Sasha Banks, woo!" And you just hear like 3 people cheer.
Nice, giving it that old school vibe when you went to like these local
indie show.
It does.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I kind of like it. I don't hate it because it makes you more immersed in like the match itself rather than what the crowd's saying. Because I think that's the mistake a lot of crowds make is they hijack shows and they'll chant whatever they want as opposed to just disrespect the product because they don't like it. But yeah, but football starting and finishing, I'd say. I want to say 60% starting.
You say 100, Tuba.
The thing is, if they start, they're not going to want to stop. That's Roger Goodell's like mentality.
Yeah, because once you put it in, you don't want to pull it out, Tuba.
I mean, you definitely do in some circumstances.
No, you finish inside always.
He knows.
Yes, but I'd say about 60% start, 50% end. I'm less confident they'll end than they'll start because they're under a lot of pressure to start at least to make money.
Okay, and then lastly, the NHL.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
That's 100. I think they've done that they've done it really.
Aren't they playing in Canada?
Yeah, they're in two places in Canada.
They have Toronto, 2 bubbles right in Canada for
Toronto
the East and West.
And Vancouver, I think. Toronto and Calgary, one of the two.
Yeah, somewhere on the West Coast.
But yeah, they're both in Canada, both hockey like all the teams are staying within a mile of the facility. They picked 2 host cities, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked out. I definitely think them and the NBA handled it.
Well, that's what Adam Silver came out today and he goes, yeah, on paper, this should work, but should doesn't always work.
Yeah, because 2020, if anything has taught me this year, it's that certainties are uncertainties. Like they really you can't really take everyday life for granted because I think it changes on the fly. That it's just crazy.
I like the new sport vibe though. I like the host cities. I like the bubble shit. I like it.
It's like tournaments.
It's got like March Madness vibes to it.
Well, I thought originally that's what it was, and that's shot.
What I remember. I heard you talk about that. You're like, yeah, dude, the NBA's coming back. It's March Madness style. I text you immediately. I go,
dog, it's gonna be a bracket, and you're like, you're fucking so dumb, dude. Like, no, it's not.
I was like, yeah, it's a bracket, a playoff bracket, because they're doing the playoffs.
I wanted them all to come back rusty as fuck and just say, all of you, play it, work it out.
Well, have you seen the TBT tournament?
Oh, it's fun.
It's fun. So there's a tournament going on. It's just a basketball tournament.
Yeah, they're playing for charity.
They're playing. It's $1 million charity tournament, and like there's a bunch of like old like the guy on a team I was watching last night. This is my nighttime sports that I watch. It's a TBT basketball tournament. I think it's a best of like 64. Like it's
Yep.
and they play to like halftime. They do, and then they decide it's kind of Big Three-esque where they play a full half.
Like the Big Three, dude. You got Antonio McDyess out there and shit.
Yes, no, it's shit like that. So they play to the half, and then at halftime, I think they take that and double whoever has the like highest amount, or add the points together, and whoever scores that many points is first to like that many points. That's the end. So like some games play to 72 because it was like 42 to 30 at halftime. Like it's that style. But no, like last night I was watching a guy and they were like, yeah, this guy led the NCAA in scoring 8 years ago, but he was just on a shitty team. No one ever drafted him. He's out here balling out.
Where is this to be seen? Is
ESPN.
it on? No,
Yeah, they have teams called like Boeheim's Army. That's just a team of all Syracuse guys. They have Jason Williams has a team.
Yeah.
He's always got his fingers in the pot.
The old Sacramento Kings. They got a full team. Don't worry.
Chris Bob is out there.
Lane, dunking on people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's called the TBT tournament. It's like decent basketball.
It is cool though, because they're all just like, it's like if you showed up to the local rec center and we're just watching a Sunday tournament. It's literally that vibe.
I used to like watching the Big Three for that.
Yeah, it's a Big Three but full court basketball.
Yeah,
like
literally.
I like that. I could deal with that.
Yeah, I'd check it out then.
Hey, Shaq just bought a yacht and
I saw that.
was asking people what to name it, and some guy said, "Why don't you name it Free Throw? Because then
It'll never sink it." Yeah.
You'll never sink it."
Oh.
That being said, it's good to be back. Thanks, Riley.
It is good to be back.
A career 54% free throw shooter.
Thanks, Tuba. It's almost as if you missed our cue to rap.
Somebody else, he fucking squirreled me now. Somebody else said, "Why don't you call it the 49ers? Because that's about what your fucking career free throw percentage was."
Super Bowl, yeah, call it the Super Bowl runner-ups. Like,
and then you gotta do some math and connect the dots to see what it actually is.
Yeah, you're like, oh, what year did he buy that?
What?
Well, Tuba, thank you for joining us on the return of your favorite sports adjacent podcast. Chris?
Yes.
I'm glad we were able to talk again.
It's always a pleasure. Whenever there's something to be talking about, we will do it.
I just hope the sports come back so we have shit to talk about.
Sports.
I just hope they come back.
If not, get creative. I told you, but we've had episodes where we didn't talk about any sports.
Listen, JewOrNotJew.com has gotten us through at least 3 episodes of this podcast.
I mean, the one we just sat there and talked about cartoons that we would sleep with. We talked about wrestling for a good portion, and I've never even watched wrestling. I don't know fucking thing one about wrestling, but I can hang in a conversation. I wouldn't say I have a favorite per se.
Mine is Captain Insano. Captain Thanos, throw no mercy.
Well, if that's the case, then I like the King Richard guy from Ready to Rumble.
This has been another edition of the Inner Circle Sports Podcast. You can find me and my show, The Plunge, at Plunge Podcast on all social media. Chris?
# no offense show, htnos.com.
And then you can find the rest of the Inner Circle, including the likes of the Simmons and More podcast, the Hood Diner, and Failing Hollywood. All of that you can find on innercirclepn.com. If you're not following us on social, you should be. Go check us out at innercirclepn on all the socials, Instagram and Twitter. We're tweeting occasionally. We're liking shit. Yeah, we're back, bitch.